So this is the triple floor, right? So we're gonna go with a 1, 2, 3, hold E, bring them in, melt, dash. Was that a 169k auto? Oh my god, these are auto attacks. Okay, so yesterday on the stream, we were trying to test out this new build on Ayaka for the brand new artifact set. I was testing it out to see if it would work, and it worked a little bit better than I expected. Let's jump into it. Wow. So the new set on Ayaka is really good if you really don't like using energy recharge. All right, so I just want to give a brief disclaimer on this video. I know, for those of you who are wondering if this is the best in slot artifact set for Ayaka, the best in slot set for Ayaka, no matter how we do things, is not going to be the new set here. It's going to be the Blizzard Strayer set. So if you're looking for what set to farm, if you're a newer player, this is the one. This is just an advanced build for something else that you could do based upon future content that really could help out for future builds. So just know that this is not the meta build. This is just a build. So Ayaka on her Ascension talent has a 30% normal and charge attack damage increase after using elemental skills. So you can use normal attacks on Ayaka if you want to. And with Ayaka, you also, whenever using a dash, you can restore 10 stamina as well as getting cryo percentage damage bonus. So she gets these innately, and then she doesn't have any constellations that really boost normal attack, and I'm not going to be using those because you don't get normal attack damage from that at any point. So all the constellations though, the C2 will just boost the ulti, C4 just boosts the ulti for defense shred, and then C6 boosts the charge attack damage. That's why everybody focused on charge attack damage for Ayaka, because C6 Ayaka. But if I'm not using the C6 because I'm not even using the charge attacks, right, and I'm only focusing on normal attacks, Ayaka has an actual ability that boosts for normals. So normally you're going to just be using Ayaka as a, as a normal character, you would just use her. But because this set exists, this is actually a decent set for Ayaka because she has a lot of percentage damage from a cryo goblet as well as the 30% from the other side. And then you also have access to the Haran Getsupatafutsu, which is now going to also increase your total elemental damage by 52%. Now, you could, and if you wanted to, not worry about the normal attack damage from this and end up using a Mist Splitter. So if you already have a Mist Splitter, yes, this will work with a Mist Splitter. It just will be about 12% less or so because the Haran has about 12% more elemental damage that you can get at R1 than it does for the Mist Splitter. The Mist Splitter is probably a better overall weapon for her DPS because it is cryo damage boosted and she self-inflicts her damage. So here's the problem with Mist Splitter, okay? The problem with Mist Splitter, and that did not make this possible before, is the Mist Splitter is going to be a weapon that triggers off your normal attack initially. You have to use an elemental burst, and then you have to be below a certain energy threshold. So if you wanted to save your elemental burst till later, or use it at the appropriate time, this would not be possible on a Mist Splitter build if you wanted to use normal attacks. So the Mist Splitter, while an insanely powerful top-end weapon, relies on Ayaka actually having a large amount of energy recharge in order to continuously cycle the elemental burst in her rotation to get the maximized damage. So the only way that you can get the maximized damage is by getting sufficient ER. But with the Haran build, you don't have to worry about energy recharge because you're not really using your elemental burst too often. And if you don't want to use it too often and you just want to like not have your elemental burst all the time, you can actually go for a much lower value of energy recharge and just go for normal attacks on her and not actually worry about it. Now, she does have problems with getting the elemental burst up consistently, so you only get to use it like twice in the entirety of Abyss. But hey, I don't really care as long as they're dying really fast, right? A 1, 2, 3, 4, Doge. Well, that was cool as fuck.
You have my gratitude.
All right, so I'm gonna do Shenhe. Okay, wait. So what we're gonna do is free-to-play version, right? We have Skyward Spine. I'm gonna put Iron Sting on Kazuha, right? And we're not gonna use the Elemental Burst. And we won't manipulate Shenhe C6, so get our comparable damage test on this. Okay, how well does free to play do with this shit? 3, 4, 5. All right, Yunjin setup. on fully free-to-play. So this is the free-to-play potential team. No Shenhe, no elemental skill stuff. So now we can do the elemental skill and the elemental burst if we need to later. But I think this might be a new team that you can run. Alright, so we're gonna do a dash over here, swirl the cryo. Okay, we're gonna do this, dash, E, and then just auto. And you get infinite E autos here. So not as good, right? Because we're not getting the cryo shred as often, and then the damage falls off at the end, right? Not as good, but definitely still doable, okay? And it allows for elemental burst to happen, but I can't show that as far as the test goes here. So Ayaka with just normals here. I mean, this is like Iron Sting Ayaka with Favonius Yunjin and an R1 Haran. This is a usable build that's actual damage. So I mean, like, you could do this and drop elemental skill, elemental burst. Like, I can't show that the elemental skill, elemental burst damage because I'll have constellations, but like, this is completely doable free to play. But Haran Ayaka is kind of cool. And this is the C0 free-to-play possible build, and this is completely free-to-play possible damage because none of the damage that we're using right now is influenced by constellations at all. So I'm gonna try this with a full burst rotation here on the C0 and see how it does. And this again will include the 30% def shred from Ayaka, as well as the elemental skill. And then I'll also throw in Freedom Sword. So if you ended up having a Freedom Sword, this will be a little bit different than your damage because, you know, if you have C6 Ayaka, but you don't have Freedom Sword R5, you know, you just have like R1. And this will be a little bit different, but it'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna start the rotation with this. Dropping in. Let's get the energy back here real quick. Come on. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go in Ayaka, swirl, elemental burst. Okay, and we're gonna dash, Q, E. I mean, you're still doing a lot of damage on the Q and the E. And if you go for a high crit damage build on this, you can get more normal proc damage in. So no matter how you're doing the damage, it's still gonna do high damage. I'm gonna compare this. Again, this is not ideal because I don't have R1 Mistsplitter leveled up because I don't want to level it up. But let's go, I'm gonna go play around with this on a Mistsplitter with a grossly low crit chance, high crit damage build. Obviously not gonna crit a lot, but hey. Just wanna see the one number, right? That's all that matters, is that one big ass crit number. I wish I did. You can watch the damage fall off, and it actually still does pretty good damage on normals. So on single target, this will be good. Okay. All right, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, NA Ayaka. Still doing work. And this is without, like, dropping everything, too. I didn't even drop the ulti. I haven't even used anything on Ayaka. So now at the end of this fight, this is what I can do. I can then use the ultimate at the end of the fight and just use it to break their shields. Because I don't have to wait for energy recharge. I love this. No energy recharge problem, Ayaka. Love it. What's energy recharge? Don't even care because I don't need it. I love this. Not an optimal build. Definitely a hey, I don't want to fuck around with no energy recharge build. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yep. This is fun. This is good. I like it. I'll put this in. So a lot of people ask me, hey, can you run this with Jade Cutter? So Jade Cutter has a high crit rate value, which is like similar to the way that the Haran works with 11% more crit rate. The difference is that the Jade Cutter is an attack percentage weapon or an attack boosting weapon, whereas the Haran is a percentage damage weapon. And the reason the percentage damage weapon or 52% normal attack damage is really, really important for this is because whenever you're using an additive damage set, like this new set here, this additive damage value that you're going to be using here after an element, after you use an elemental skill here, this set, right, the Valley Right set, is really, really good with lots of percentage damage, which Ayaka has in droves because of the 30% here, the 18% here, as well as the 52% from the weapon, and you're going to get a lot from the goblet as well. So you have a ton of percentage damage, and all that percentage damage as well as your critical damage is going to multiply against this value of the extra 70%, which makes it so that when you're looking at Ayaka's auto attacks, the actual damage of her auto attacks can double or more. So you actually can get double damage on Ayaka auto attacks. But in addition to that, whenever you're using a character like Shenhe, Shenhe's also going to add, if you're at C0, about 97% of her attack. I think it's like 80% or so. So now you have triple damage auto attacks on Ayaka for the first 7 hits or so. And Shenhe's also going to provide a 15% cryo damage bonus, which is really going to help this. And you're going to get the 15% normal attack bonus from the other Sencha talent for Shenhe. So because you have all of these things, I'm going to put this on here. You have all of these things just working in tandem to the percentage damage. All the additive damage kind of riles up, and you get all this huge spike on the character. And that's really cool, because then you can just use a normal attack Ayaka build, and not many people are going to be doing this, but hey, it's another way of playing the character, so that's awesome. Okay, this is going to be a cryo set, Haran comparable free to play. I'm going to switch off of the freedom again, go to Iron Sting, and we're going to use the free to play style build for Ayaka here and see how the Haran cryo set is going to work out here. 2, 3, 4. So try to use the Haran here. Not my favorite. Definitely can work, but I feel like it's better to go with a charge build than it is the normal build here. Cryo sets. Bam. 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 Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like the middle hits are slightly bigger, right? So obviously that's not going to work with the full rotation there, because it like the whole E ends the sort of duration. So the first 7 hits is all you're going to see, and then after that you got an EQ combo for Ayaka. But like the damage that you would get there for C0 to C0, yeah, that's pretty much what you would see. It's going to be a little bit less for the Shenhe because like she has too many talents on this. But I haven't put a video in a while, and I didn't get a chance to drop in all the math for this. But from what I did for the numbers early on for this, the damage numbers, if you include like elemental scale, elemental burst combination, and all the energy recharge that you get from the characters that are typically on a cryo team, will definitely have a higher DPS when using the cryo set instead of using the normal attack set. This is, again, just a fun build you can try because it's new artifact set, and hey, there's nothing else to do with endgame artifacts, right? So I might as well just experiment and have fun. But if you like this kind of content, let me know. Have a great day, guys.